I did a long-term review of the S24 Ultra a couple of weeks ago, and I said that I think that Samsung should remove the S Pen, and I got loads of comments telling me how wrong I was, and even one of them told me that I was an iPhone user. Like, it's so insulting. So what I decided to do was, over the past couple of weeks, try and use that S Pen a little bit more and see whether you guys were right and I was wrong about the S Pen being a little bit useless. So here are some of the S Pen features that I've used over the last couple of weeks. Some of them I think are quite good, some of them are just not for me. There was already one S Pen feature that I used quite often, and that was the off-screen memo feature. So if you have your S24 Ultra and you want to take a note straight away without having to unlock your phone, you can do. All you have to do is get it on your screen here, and you can scribble down a few things and kind of take it from there. And I mostly used it to play games or just fiddle around, but I didn't realize how powerful the Notes app was here. First off, you can actually keep that note on your lock screen as an always on display if you go into the settings. So if you're someone that likes to write down shopping lists as you go, or add to that note without having to create a new note each time, or go into the app and then edit it, I actually think this is a pretty cool feature because you can just add to it straight from that lock screen, and it's something that I can see myself using a little bit more. I also really like the fact that if you take down someone's phone number or you take down an email address and you go into that Notes app, you can call them directly from the Notes app, or you can send them an email straight away just by hovering over it with that S Pen. I think that's actually a really cool feature. I also like that you can do this with like maths equations as well. So if you write down a note from that lock screen, then go into that Notes app, what it'll do is it will just give you the answer to that maths equation, which again, I think is a really cool feature. Another S Pen feature that I didn't know existed until I was reading the comments was Air View. Now, you might know what this is already, but if you don't, if you go into the gallery, you can hover over any photo or video that you have, and it'll pop it out into a small window so you can view that video or have a look at that photo a little bit bigger. Now, this only works inside the Samsung Gallery app, so it doesn't work inside Google Photos or anything else, but this is a really nice little feature which I've found myself actually using in the past couple of weeks. Oh, and I am really impressed by how accurately Samsung and One UI can determine what I'm writing. So I've been trying to just use this S Pen to write in search boxes just a little bit more instead of using the keyboard to type. And I would say 9 times out of 10, even though my writing looks like a 5-year-old, it gets it spot on and knows exactly what I'm trying to say. So that is really impressive. This was even more impressive when I was trying to take notes down in a meeting. So I thought, right, let's use the S Pen, and it pretty much got my words every single time. And when you write something down, what you can do is actually hover over it and it will just convert that scribble to a text. And I have so many typos when I'm trying to just type something down quickly from a meeting or trying to take notes on something. And with the S Pen, it felt like I could just get these notes down a little bit easier, and it felt a little bit more natural. So I kind of dig this a bit. And my favorite feature of the S Pen over the past couple of weeks of trying to use it is Smart Select, and this is really handy for taking screenshots and then having to annotate those screenshots straight away without having to go inside another app or go back into that screenshot, and I found this to be really useful. Anything that eliminates a step, I'm always here for, and just the fact that you can be a little bit more accurate using the S Pen to annotate something or draw a circle around something or just even do an arrow, I really like this, and it allows you to screenshot the exact part that you want to share. And talking of sharing, you can then share that screenshot directly in Smart Select, so I really like it. Now I'm going to get to the bits that I just don't think the S Pen is that useful for. So for example, if you go into the Gallery app and you want to edit a photo and you need to draw around something to eliminate a subject from that photo, you can use the S Pen and you can get fairly accurate with it. But I feel like that's an extra step because I can do just as well by drawing around the exact same subject with my finger, and it doesn't exactly make it any better when I want to remove it from the image. Then you have Translate with the S Pen, and it's actually really good. So if you want to translate a single word, you can just hover over it, or you can do like entire paragraphs and sentences. However, this is where I think that Circle to Search has come in and done a much better job, and eliminates having to use that S Pen, because you can actually just use Circle to Search around any of the text in an image or on a website and translate it right from there without having to get the S Pen out. This is the same with Bixby Vision as well. It's quite powerful. What you can do is that you draw a box around a subject in an image, and Bixby Vision will tell you a little bit more about that or give you some more images based on that image. However, you don't really need it now because Circle to Search is there. It does a better job, it's quicker, it's easier, and it's more accurate in terms of the information that it'll give you. So again, S Pen here is just a little bit redundant. Then you have things like Magnify. It's a really good feature, it works really well, but do you really need it? Like, I don't see how many people are actually using Magnify that often on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not gonna bash on it because, like I said, it does work well, but there's also good magnification options on Android already. Then it brings me to what I think is possibly the most pointless feature of the S Pen, which is the ability to write inside your calendar. So if you have the S Pen, all you have to do is you can zoom in to your calendar like a couple of 100% and start writing down certain things on that calendar, and you can take notes. However, it doesn't actually create a reminder for the note that you just took inside your calendar. You have to then go back into that specific date and re-add a reminder for what you've just written. And I just don't really see the point of it. It seems like an added step for no reason except that they're trying to make you use the S Pen. So I don't really get the write on calendar option. And when you're trying to actually scribble into that box or write something down, I just feel like it's a little bit too small to even get any useful information. And I know there's people out there that will probably use this every single day, but for me, I just don't see why it's even useful, and I just will never use this. There is an app though that I've probably had the most fun using over the past couple of weeks, and that is the AR Doodle. And if you use the S Pen, go into this app, you can create 3D objects by drawing it, and then once you're done, you can just look at that space in 3D and have a look at what you've drawn. And it's actually quite a cool concept and a really cool app. I think it's more aimed probably towards children, if anything, and I'm not sure how much I would use this outside of testing it just for this video. But I like it's there, and it's really powerful and does a really good job. And there's also Pentastic as well inside the Good Lock app, and I do like the fact that you can customize a little bit about the S Pen, so you can change the menu that pops up every time you open it, you can change the sound of the S Pen, you can also change the cursor to this like little pig thing if that's your style, and also you can add a double click on the S Pen button to open any app, which again, really useful. I know there's loads of S Pen features which I haven't tried, and if I did, it would just take hours. Like, you can unlock your phone with the S Pen. You can set up routines to control your smart home, which I actually think is really cool, or you can just use it to zoom in and out of the camera and take pictures, which, by the way, I found to be really annoying. I just couldn't seem to get that movement right to zoom in or out of the photos. No matter how many times I tried it, it just didn't really work. I've used the S Pen as much as I possibly could in the last couple of weeks, and I do get it. I get why some people really love it, but no matter how much I try, I just don't think it's for me. I don't like the added step of using the S Pen. And by the way, if you smelt the S Pen, this is a little bit off tangent, but if you smell the S Pen, it smells really weird. Having said that though, I am actually open to being proven wrong that the S Pen is the best feature about the S24 Ultra and the Ultra lineup. So if there's an app you think I should try or a feature with the S Pen, then let me know in the comments below, because I will give it a go. Like, I'm happy to be convinced by this. But before you head off, make sure you subscribe to the Android Authority YouTube channel, and if you do that, then I'll see you later.